Okay, what's up, everybody? So let's start in. Quick sound test. Check. Sounds good. Good. And also here. Quick sound test. Do. For whatever reason. Okay, no, cool. All right. With that, new stream. First and last stream for this week. So Friday, good timing. I had a good work week. I hope you also had a good week. So we're going to do another football animation. So in the background, I'm working on finishing a little bit longer animation, fan animation from Gunbarrel Kickers. Maybe the next time I show again the process a little bit behind. Maybe I'm also even doing like a whole process video on how all this comes together. But yeah, for today, let's do another breakdown football animation study and see what can we learn from real reference. So yeah, always good practice, always good and fun to study a little bit real reference. Yeah, beautiful weather in Berlin. Summer's beginning, so that's always good. Did a little bit sport today. I hope also, yeah, things also good for you. If you have any question, let me know during the stream, after the stream. Yeah, cool. But before we jump into animating, let's. I wanted to react a little bit to a couple of animations I heard from that I wanted to check out. With that, let's jump in here. So the first one is hardest. Maybe you played the game, but I think if things are loading here, let's load again. This one is cool. Okay, let's wait quickly that the ad is over, but then we jump in. So now is the case. And I think, yeah, it has fabulous animations. I'm not sure even like who did the animation. That would be also something cool to check out. But it's super fun to watch. Maybe I bring the window here a little bit more here, like this. Or maybe we go even in full screen. But it looks like the whole motion also looks fabulous. How everything also like this. I like also the lightning and the coloring. It's also super cool. And here already is gameplay. But of course we are a little bit more interested here in the animation. Let's watch the animation quickly again because it's so much fun. I like also how they incorporated smears here. For example, with the blade, we also had some sessions doing that. I forgot the name of the studio, of the animation studio, but I maybe know who's behind this animation here. This frame also looks super cool here. Yeah, fun to go back and forth here and check this animation out. Also beautiful scene here, wide angle shot, then a little close up, then the smear here in the background slightly, but this one here is sharp. Looks amazing. Also this one here. Super cool animations. And then this little lightning here from Soys. So yeah, much to learn here. Looks super fun. And then he's falling down. Fun animation, super cool to watch. So I'm definitely going to check again out like which studio got the name. What was the name of that studio? So yeah, gonna check that out. Then also another thing that was super trending. And yeah, I haven't watched the show so far, but I think this one also is super cool. So let's quickly watch the trailer here and look at the animations. Also, like just if you're wondering, I also have the sound off for now, just for copyright reasons. But I think this one is also super cool. Also, the animation looks fun. It's a little bit like a mix from like this 90s animation and like new animations. And yeah, super cool, small fun moments here. And a lot of scenes where I already want like to break or pause the video and watch a little bit slowly what's happening in the frames. Super cool. Let's quickly go in a couple of frames here and check out what's happening. Also like fun hairs, like from the side, like sparky hairs. So cool character design. Also here, like I like the texture in the brush that is being used here. It's a little bit like traditional, so I like that. Also like the coloring here. It's a cool style. And then we have some camera shaky moments here. Cool transition to the title. This one is also cool. And then he's flying away faster. Also like this smear frame. Also cool incorporated. Here what's going on here. Like some kind of impact frame here. So also cool how the camera rotates here around the characters. That's always like a cool shot when the camera is rotating like around a subject, around an object. So that's always cool to see. Seth is writing, hello room, hi, cool that you're joining the stream. So we're reacting a little bit here to some cool animations before we start animating. So it seems to be crazy things going on here in this Jaiba Samurai Legend. Hello Tintless, cool that you're joining the stream. So fun, like yeah, let me know if any one of you has watched it. Looks cool. So I'm definitely going to start this one and see if I like it. But the animation already looks entertaining. And then the last one we're going to react is this one. Maybe you heard of you saw a lot of like fight scenes from this one, like fight animations. And I think it's like a Chinese production. Yeah, let's see into it. Also something I wanted to check out and start watching. Like this, like I think one of these fight scenes went a little bit viral in the animation community. So yeah, I think you have a lot of fights. Tiddle is right, it's RTX from animation. I really like your videos, my keyboard. Thank you so much. Cool that you're here. Also, like the Discord server, always super fun to see all the animations. Yeah. So I already like always waking up, see cool animations, and then with good energy I'm starting the day. So I don't know like what's like all the things that's happening here. I think the main, like, he has some kind of powers, and ooh, crazy frames here. And then he has to do some fights. But yeah, would be also interesting to check this one out. Okay, this frame is crazy what's going on here. Okay, maybe this is the reason. This is a little snippet like why this anime or this show here went so viral. Because like he's flying it's funny to see how like from one punch how long the scene is animated. It feels super long, but it's also cool to see all the crazy smear background here. And he's connected here to something, so yeah, super curious to watch into this show also. So maybe if I start watching it, I can do a little review or talk about it or do a breakdown. Let's see. But yeah, I think it's a cool show also to check out. Okay, this is some kind of a ability here to fight with the string. And then we have this crazy character here. To him some kind. Also, like I feel like small things like this, also expressions, like even if it's super fast animated, like if you playing it, these can add also so much fun to the animation. And then here we have some crazy cool frames going on. Some impact frames here. Yeah, fun. Already just looking into it looks super fun. All right, cool. Surface writing super cube fight scenes are awesome. Yeah, they look, just from what I'm seeing here, they look super cool, super entertaining, and have like a unique style also. I like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. Okay, for now, what we're going to do, little animation. So I did one quickly today. So I had like whole work week. I didn't animate a lot this week. Worked only on the one animation that I mentioned at the beginning. But this was the one like from last week where we did a simple breakdown. But I think I want to do a couple more of these simple studies here from real reference. So I started here like a super basic one. So proportions here still a little bit off, but to get a little bit stay loose, to get a little bit in the flow and just observing different kind of motions when someone is shooting or how he's handling the ball, what are the small body movements that are happening, to incorporate that step by step into the other animation that I'm doing to get a better feeling for it. Of course, with an animation like this, I think this something like this is a good start, but then I would go over it and fix a little bit that the proportions stay consistent. Or for example, here like the for short or the leg size is not accurate in comparison to the like whole body proportions. So this is something you could go over it and also rework a little bit the smears. Are they working? Are you happy with them? But yeah, loose studies, keep it simple. So now we're going into this one and do one animation here and see what we can learn. Also, like pick up different kind of scenes. I think if you're animating or learning a new topic, to observe a little bit how the real body movement looks is always good practice. Seth is writing, how would you go above rendering backgrounds for intense Sakura fight scenes like these? I always find that hard to do. Animating is easy compared to rendering them. That's a good question. I think there are a lot of different ways. Like, do you mean like the final touches? Like the cleanup and coloring? Or like the whole process of adding the background, sketching the background? seeing that I think one key thing is, or one of the first things that you have to establish is that the perspective you have in your scene from your character and your background, that they fit. Yeah, I think that's the basis stone that have to be right. If not, like you can render as much as you want, your scene will break. Not work so good. So yeah, perspective is a crucial thing, and then I think also reference what kind of background do you have, and like what kind of. I think it's a broad question and depends also on situation. Like don't overload your background with too many details. Yeah, cleanup and composition. So then also composition things like make sure your scene looks good, your shot looks good. You're using the rule of thirds also. So you're placing your character, for example, with the rule of thirds in an interesting point. So it's not just randomly here, but if the scene makes sense, you place your main character, for example, here, and you have your like. It's crazy how much, like if you're watching trailer for movies or whatever, how much, like so many times you then have the horizon here and then the clouds here. So make sure this is happy. Then also that the perspective is set. And for cleanup, it's just a technical thing. Dongchang has great videos on cleaning up also shots, and I think also even like a whole process on backgrounds. Yeah, and also at some point it can also make super sense to just like animate or sketch your first, like your character, and then also use 3D backgrounds and then sketch over them to finish things. So you then are a little bit, or like, yeah, proper have established perspective that is working. So it could be also something you could think about to incorporate 3D into your workflow. And then also maybe like if the animation that I'm working on, like the Ganbaro Kickers animation, I can show then also like a more detailed process on cleaning up the background. Yeah, but it's like in Clip Studio Paint, simple things like having your brush on this one here, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, anti-aliasing. So like if you're then sketching with your brush, so you have these little pixels here, and then if you're using the bucket tool, that the bucket tool and totally stay within the line and that it's working. Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. So let's start with the simple animation here. So we try to stay loose here. But also something I have to remind myself to not spend too much time at the beginning on the figure itself. Tintless writing, I always thought animating sports were the most complicated things to do. It's pretty impossible to make it look good by animating in an economic way. Everything gotta be done in twos or threes. Yeah, true. I feel like it depends like on which sports. I feel like some movements are easier to animate, or like some sports are easier to animate than others. For example, that's a example you see a lot in animation tutorials, like a baseball swing. I feel like something like that can be a little bit more easy because yeah, you can establish your key positions super clearly, like this one, then in the middle of the shot, and then the last one. But yeah, there are also like hard movements to, especially if it's already for your eye just watching the reference, hard to understand what's happening. For example, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, something mixed martial arts where they're grappling and are on the ground. I feel like something like this is super hard because you have to be very accurate on how two characters interact with each other to understand and make understanding in the animation what's happening. But yeah, then I feel like if you watch like old Dragon Ball episodes, there are also some episodes where they trick a lot, where they're not animating like every movement, but they have like a lot of these smear frames, and only like key position where they're making one or two punches and then they're disappearing and appearing somewhere else. Yeah, and something also that's helping, I felt, for like when I'm doing fight animations, is that I also did like boxing in the background. I did all kind of mixed martial arts when I was younger. So to do like movements for yourself and understand them, I feel like then also is helping yourself to animate them or replicate them in animation. That's why I think Hajime was kind of the only who understand and did the great job in Blue Look. Yeah, I felt also like, I'm not sure like which episodes or like which key animations he did, but yeah, there were some cool especially the last episode I think is super cool animated, so that was crazy to see, because even you have the contrast, I think, where they in episodes before they haven't so much budget. So the last episode was crazy in comparison also to some other episodes. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's start in here. So I can quickly go through the scene here. What's happening? So we have this little shot here. I like also, this would be also a super cool scene just to learn like how to play with the camera, because the camera, I feel like football animation is cool because you have oftentimes different cameras from different perspectives from one action. So that is very, very thankful to also learn like to animate a movement from reference, but then also learn it to sketch it from different perspective. So that's always cool. So we have this little shot here, then also this little walk cycle here. Maybe we can also add here in the beginning. And also something I haven't done yet so often here is animating like a person shooting here from behind. So that's also cool. And also something, this is a little bit optional. Like you can try to mimic like the whole or like mimics the perfect, like from the reference, the perspective you see. So you could go in and try really to, for example, sketch in your boxes here and see and try to hit this perspective completely right here that you're observing, and see like the horizon would be somewhere up here. Okay, this is the best arrow I ever sketched. um, but you can also just be a little bit loose, especially for the first take, and eyeball it a little bit, like where the perspective is. But yeah, depends a little bit on your focus, on what you want to practice. So just wanted to mentioning this here. So keeping the character. I also find it super cool to see like different animators on their preferred or preferred way of sketching a loose character, or how they're starting an animation. That's also cool. All right. So we have this first pose here. Just making things here a little bit thicker so it's understandable what's in front, what's behind. Maybe we go in here. I feel like also the ball already is also establishing already a little bit of perspective. Like that. Maybe it's a little bit too big here for the frame, but let's proceed here. Maybe now this one. So of course you could also animate it pose to pose, where you first established your key positions. But I'm a little bit lazy sometimes, so that's why I'm just going in here and do it straight ahead. So I'm just going through the frames and moving my way forward here. Like that. Cool. And like this phase where I'm right now, really understand it like as a, I would say, first structure on understanding the animation, understanding the movement, and then you go over it later and fix things. But yeah, first establishing the basic movement here. And see which frames do you need that the animation is working. And also a cool thing, I know sometimes you just want to animate faster, but to go back and forth here is super helpful to understand what's happening. Like that, maybe. Putting this one here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Maybe this one we bring here. This now comes to the front. Like that. Looks okay. Let's go forward. Sketch in the last one here. Well, not the last one, but before then the walk cycle flips. I feel like ellipses are a great way. You see it also in the animator survival kit. Like adding a quick ellipse is such a great hack and tool to quickly establish a little bit perspective without having to construct anything. Of course, behind that is already some construction in mind. For example, like if I'm sketching something like this is already perspective, but what's behind it is like this thought here. So like a box in perspective, and then you could sketch in the ellipse inside it. But ellipse is already establishing perspective. This is another perspective than this. This is another perspective, and behind it is like this setup here. So this one is down, looking like that down. This one is looking that direction. This one is that direction. So ellipses like this already always cool to quickly give something a little bit depth, or perspective, or also for shortening. So yeah, if you don't know it, the Animator Survival Kit. Maybe I wanted to do another session some time soon where we look again into the Animator Survival Kit. So I like it also, especially if I haven't watched for a longer time in that book. There's always something to rediscover again and learn from. And also like this here, like I'm indicating the shadow here from the ball roughly. And here like this ellipse is not flat enough. So a ball like here, this one would be in a different perspective, of course, than this one or this one. So this one would look, we would look more down on it, like that. And this one less, and this one is more from the side. So also a cool way to quickly indicate shadow. So we have our man running here. So now he's on his feet there. And maybe I want to get a little bit more bold here with my lines. So I'm very careful. So maybe we can a little bit be more brave and give it a little bit more dynamic with that. Let's see. Especially with this first one. This is also something I want to practice more, to find a good balance on how much we want to stay loose here. So I mean, this is a phase where it's okay to be loose. So make good use of that and try things out here also. What's working, what's not working. Cool. Like this, so legs are switching here. Maybe the ball is too far away, so we have to see if he gets to his destination. And see also, try to see like how many frames do you need, so the whole movement is here understandable. So try to strike a good balance. And also something like here, I think a key part here is to make the right use of foreshortening, to make things here working. And yeah, there is really no need in this phase here to sketch the muscles properly out. Like if you want, you could do so, but like diagonal shapes work fantastic to yeah, sketch an arm or whatever. So yeah, also just using that. So he's approaching here. Cool. Like that. A little bit forward. Maybe here now. Maybe like that. Cool. Of course, always important to make sounds. Like that. And as you can see, I'm now a little bit more loose here with my lines. Also normal than if you're warming up a little bit. So let's bring this one here. And this one here. So let's make it so it's understandable what's happening. Like that. So the motion is okay. Now he gets here. Like that. Maybe that's too strong. Maybe like this. Now the foot here will be challenging to add correct. Maybe we're pushing things here a little bit. Maybe that's too strong of a smear, but we will see in a second. Maybe like that. Cool. And as I said, yeah, the ball is too far away. So the distance. So we could reduce a little bit the distance while he's walking here. So maybe we're doing that here. Quickly animate a little bit here the distance of the ball. So he gets in closer to the ball while he's pushing forward. Let's see if this makes sense, or if we have to place it just from the beginning more closely. Let's see. Maybe it's okay like this. Okay, let's keep it for now. The ball's maybe a little bit too big, but yeah, let's just keep moving forward for now. And go here into this frame, so he's going a little bit more here. Go back and forth and see what's happening. Okay, so the main weight of his body will be on his left foot. Maybe we're pushing here a little bit. Body weight. Like that. Here we forgot the arm. The arm! We forgot the arm. Try to stay to some kind of degree consistent with your proportions or your whole overall size of your character here. Cool. And with that, I think we almost reached the point where he will go for the shoot. Now it's the question, he's always, I think to have like one drawing where he like actually makes contact with the ball is important. And then you can go crazy with speed and timing. But I think that one key drawing is important to still have that connection of where he's shooting instead of having here and then the ball would fly away. So I think to establish this one here, yeah, it's important. Like how many do you want to actually have in your final one? Maybe we have something like this here. And then here we would have the ball. Cool. And then also here some foreshortening of the arm, like this. And also here like this. Okay, looks fun. Before we time things here out, let's make the next one here where the ball is flying. Maybe this one. The ball will fly. It's crazy how fast the time flies away when you're animating. Yeah. Already animating or being live here 40 minutes. So time flies. But we're making some kind of progress here. Cool. Maybe like this. The arm comes here. And this one goes more in. Like this. And maybe now we're creating some kind of smear frame in the direction the ball will fly. Let's see. Maybe like this. Cool. And now what I want to do, maybe we stay a little bit here. So just move slightly forward. Like this. So we have a nice body rotation here. Like that. One is staying here. Just indicating the arm there. And now the ball will be away. And you say, hey, like where's the ball? So having a little magic trick here. Cool. And here with the ball will be away and then it will be again there with a crazy smear. Here the body rotates again. Like this. And the arm here. Like this. And then we have the foot here. So this one is actually like a hard, like just from the anatomy, from the proportions, I feel like a hard frame to sketch. And then we have some crazy ball flying smear here going on. So here you can free experiment like how you want to design this one. And just see what's working, what's not working. What do you need to be happy with like your smear frame? So we're just pushing here things a little bit. Let's see if it's too much. This could be also like a good point for like an impact frame. So you can also like add like some waves here. So this would be also like from Tsubasa. Like a super shoot here. Cool. So things fly here even. Like even the grass here flies from the ground. So play with things here a little bit. And now, of course, we want everything fade out a little bit. Like that. So I think the tricky thing here is, so let's just take, like if you're not happy with it, just do like one more attempt like that. Of course, like we have this big shirt on, so it's harder to see actually what the proportions are doing. But then also like his body is rotated like that. So it's a little bit hard to establish the right hip and body relationship, but just try it out, give it another attempt, and see if you're coming like to a point where you to some kind degree happy with it. Maybe this is okay. Maybe a little bit too big here. Like that. This arm is somewhere here, behind the body. And let's see if we want to add some kind of smear here. Can be also super rough. Maybe we're adding here. So just in the corner of our frame here, the ball is visible here. And then see how much you want to push things. So this is all maybe too extreme here, to be honest. But I mean, for practice sake here. We have this shoot here that goes to the moon and flies super high. Cool. Like that. Maybe also some shadow here. Like that. Here everything is falling back down. Maybe a little bit too much. And then the camera goes there. So maybe let's do another one here. Like that. Similar to ease things a little bit out here. And maybe last one here. Maybe like that here. That's too much. So go back and forth and see with which movement you're happy. I'm also keeping things here super loose right now. Maybe that's even too loose, but it's okay for now. Like this, and then things disappear. Cool. Okay, the last frame, maybe this one, you should take a little bit more time to sketch this one out, so you can't even see like what is this here. But let's quickly retime it here. Add a track, assign multiple cells, cell name. Let's put everything on 3s. And go in here quickly with the timing. So we want accordingly to the movement and things that are happening here. So if we have a bigger movement, I will make things on 2s. Maybe this one also on 2s, but I will want to have a couple of frames also on 3s. So maybe this one could be on 3s, let's see. So just try it out. And yeah, make one timing. So this walk cycle here, this one cycle in the beginning will be a little bit slower. So then we have a nice contrast to then when things get more fast and they hit a little bit more and feel more dramatic. And yeah, maybe sometimes things are even too fast. And maybe here again on 2s, and maybe this one even on 3s. But maybe let's quickly watch it like that. There should be a little bit more ease out better. So meaning probably would have to add 1 or 2 drawings more at the end. So that's already a little bit better. Put this one on 3s. I feel it's, and this is also like in comparison to before, like how much timing can make a difference on then the appeal of the animation. Cool. I probably, this one here, we wouldn't need like this still in the frame, so it would be probably the ball would be away. but maybe it's helping so you understand a little bit where the ball is flying. So this could be something like from the logic, does it make sense that the ball is this thing that is flying fast away, that it's still on the frame? But yeah, and then you could also add like some camera shake to it, maybe after he hits the ball, things gets here and then here, and then again back here. Watch it like that. Yeah, so it adds a little bit more impact to it. But yeah, fun animation. And I feel like if we're watching this study like this helped a lot to first, like for the one cycle, the dynamic of how the legs are moving, but then also a little bit how the arms are moving. So you have, like for example here, you have these arms moving like that, and then they move like that. So you have them moving in a direction. Or like if we would make it like in the frame. And then again they move into that direction with the legs. Hope that makes sense. So the arms are swinging with the body. Things like that you maybe don't, like if you want to animate a shoot or the body moving, you don't have in mind immediately. But study like this, it can be great to learn these things on how the body and the arms are moving when the body, for example, is running. Cool. Fun stream. Thanks everybody for watching. So this was the one I did also before. I feel like here a couple of drawings feel a little bit too stiff, but also a fun practice. And this one was the one from the last stream. All right. With that, I'm going to end the stream. And the next stream will be, I have to see, probably the latest next Friday, but I want to try to stream also a day before. Yeah, maybe on Thursday. Let's see. Highlights will follow soon. I still have a couple other streams I want to share on my channels, the highlights. So I always have to edit them a little bit before I'm publishing them. So also something I'm going to do at the weekend and just enjoying the sun and the weather. Yeah, if you have any question, let me know in the chat, in the comments here, or write me a message or whatever. However I can help. If you want to check out my Patreon channel, I'm brought it to life last month. So yeah, also more and more content there. Sharing also the open files from the stream here if you want to check it out. And yeah, more bonus content to come, and also another YouTube video longer in the next 2 weeks maybe. So with that, I hope you have a good rest of the day. Checking the animation one last time, and see you in this next stream. Thanks for watching. Bye.